Hi, it's Amanda here, and so what I've got in front of me is some pieces of wood that I harvested it from my cotton plant, which is actually, if you allow anything to, most things, apart from, I guess, most things, if you allow most things to grow, they grow into a tree. Apart from some smaller plants that don't grow any taller, but their branches can get a lot thicker. And I found that even, what was I growing? It was some sort of herb, and I wasn't actually using it, and it grew into a tree. Anyway, but besides the point, so from the cotton plant, I allowed my plants to grow. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4. The fourth one I haven't allowed to grow into a tree. I keep that low. I don't harvest any cotton from it. It's just for the leaves. The other one is in a tree, and I'm going to use the wood. Anyway, so that's besides the point. Let's get on. So I harvested, this is from the clemmer cherry tree. So the wood's slightly different, or as I took off the bark from it, I may have left like a small layer, so that's why it's darker. And yeah, so the cottonwood, it's a lovely wood. It is very smooth. It's got a nice weight to it. It's not like the I think it's probably in between the softwood, say, of the moringa, and then you've got the mahogany, which is the hardwood stage, and then I think these fall in between. So this is nearer the mahogany hardwood, and this is kind of in between because it's very light, and it cuts fairly easy, but it's not as soft as the moringa wood. Okay, so and this is moringa wood, so this is like extremely light, easy to manipulate, and you have to be careful that because it's so soft, it will break quite easily when you're trying to manipulate it. So that's the moringa wood. Anyway, so what I've done so far with these is I did some wood burning patterns on them. Just kept it simple. I've to tell you the truth, in my studio space I've got a box with the different nibs on them, but it's just kind of, it's in here, and I saw it a few days ago, but it's disguising itself amongst all the other stuff. So I was forced to use this end. It's kind of like it's like a leaf shape, but what it forced me to do was to see how many different patterns I could get out of it. So we'll come in a bit closer so that you can get a better view. So we'll go with this one. So with this one, I've got some smaller dots and some long lines, and that's it. So with the end, so with this bit of the wood burner, I did these, so when you just lay it down, it gives you that kind of almost a circle, and then the longer ones, I just kept it for a bit longer and moved it down the line. So this particular wood, as I said, the clemmer cherry wood, it kind of burned really easy. It was a lot easier. You didn't have to leave it so long, but you had to be careful that if you left it too long, it would actually rather than just do the top layer, it would go deeper. With the cotton, again, I did these dots and lines. I also, at the ends, I used the end of this and went into it like that. And then, where else? So let me show you this one. So I did the similar sort of thing, but just used the tip. So when I came to these bits, I just used the tip. And then with the tip of this, the very tip, which is really pointy, I did some smaller dots. I didn't do very many because it was just like, it's going to be really time consuming, and I've got another tool in which I can do it, because you then have to hold this at an awkward angle. It's not really awkward, but yeah, I wasn't feeling it with that one. So that's what I did. And oh yeah, so with this particular one, I used the side and then put the side on it like that and just did some lines like that. So utilizing all of the edges so that you can make the most out of one tool rather than having to keep swapping. And I think it's a good idea to be able to try and do that, see how many, and practice. So this is a different wood. I think this is I've got another wood which is, I keep calling it the orange blossom, but it's not the orange blossom tree. But yeah, that's a different wood. And I've recently got some neem wood that I need to process. So over the next couple of days, that's what I'm going to be doing. But with this one, I tried to do a longer burn, trying to see what effect I would get. And so with all of them, what I've done is then just varnished them. I've just got to do this bit of the end of them because I was holding it as I was painting it. And then that will be it in terms of the decoration, and then they can be utilised. So with this one, I've just put some hooks in. I'm thinking of making like a wall hanging with them, but we will see, or maybe a sculpture, some sort of sculpture. Who knows? Who knows? Or I was going to do like a mini, like that, hanging like that. But I've got this wood I wanted to use as the main thing, so that you get a few of the pieces of the wood hanging like that. And maybe the smallest one in the middle. So we'll see. We'll see how we get on. Do it like that, because that's bent. Yeah, I might do something like that. We'll see. But just play. Again, it's playing with your supplies, playing with tools, playing with the things that you may have access around you. Going out into nature, seeing what nature's got for you to use. So all of these, I've never used wood in my projects before. I've recently started using it in wall hangings, but it's just like you've got all of these resources that are around you. And what I would normally do outside is to be, I would just, what would I be doing? Cutting back in the garden, and I'd just chop and drop. So for those of you who are not gardeners, I would leave what I had chopped around other plants, and it then just breaks down. But then I was thinking, oh, these bits of wood, I must be able to use them. Or even I tried the mahogany, but I found the mahogany is really hard to work with. This is mahogany. It took me forever in the beginning, but I'm not giving up. But that's where I was practicing the wood burning. It's very solid. if you have the right sort of materials in terms of like sanding and cutting, then it's definitely worthwhile getting. But I was just using, like, you know, the paper sander and just trying to sand it down. And maybe I don't need to, because none of these, I didn't sand any of these down. I just literally took the bark off, and that's what you've got underneath. And maybe if I do that with the mahogany as well. But I guess again I wanted to shape it, so that's why I did a lot of sanding. And then I don't like the way that the varnish sits on the wood, so I'm going to go and get some wood varnish specifically for wood. Yeah, and then I do like the way that these particular ones have turned out. This is, as I said, the Clemmer Cherry, but I'm going to experiment more and with the mahogany, because I've now got softer woods to work with. That I guess it's a good practice. I'll just practice on these. I did say I've got some neem as well, but yeah, in one of the videos I'll probably show you how you can turn a branch into a potential for creating a piece of art, but that'll be for another time. So I'm going to leave it there. And yeah, I hope this may have sparked some ideas as to things that you may think about to utilise in your creative activity. Alright then, take care for now, and I'll see you soon.